Hi, lovelies. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Sarah Martucci. I'm a psychic medium and a certified crystal healer, and I am bringing you the free weekly reading for the month of August. This is going to be August the 21st through August the 27th of 2017. Okay, guys, unless you were hiding under a rock, I'm sure you saw the solar eclipse, and how incredible is that craziness, right? It totally freaking blew my mind. So I'm over in Portland, Oregon, and it happened around like 10:15, 10:30, like this time. It was eerily cool. It got really dark, and I had to keep checking my face to make sure I didn't have on sunglasses, just because it got so dark, and it was so gradual and so crazy and cool, and I could feel the intense energy. I hope that you guys are feeling it too. Gotta say though that I kind of feel really exhausted right now, so I think I might have to take a nap later, or at some point today. Also too, we're in Leo season, as well as this new moon and the solar eclipse being in the sign of Leo too. So kind of this theme that I've been weaving throughout this Leo season is, where are you being called to stand up and be a leader in your life? Where are you being called to right now to really stand up and take the leadership position? Another thing that's happening too is Mercury retrograde. That's also in the sign of Virgo. Virgo is the quintessential humanitarian sign besides Aquarius. These guys are helpers and healers. These are the nurses and the doctors. There's a huge emphasis on healing. Whenever Mercury retrograde comes up, that talks about redoing, revising, reworking, restructuring, anything, doing it over again. So that this time that you get it right, this time that you're setting a good foundation so that you can actually work better going forward. You already learned the lessons. What can you bring to round two? You know what I'm saying? Also with new moons, they talk about new beginnings. So this is the time to plant your seeds for what it is that you want going forward. With it being eclipse season, we had one door closing on August the 7th, when we had that lunar eclipse in Aquarius, asking us to look towards the humanitarian efforts. How can we bring equality to everyone? Here at the solar eclipse, this is saying, okay, it's time to make it a reality, guys. That one door closed, this one door now is opening. So we need to walk through that door. We need to make sure that we're checking abuse, both in our lives and abroad. We're no longer letting fear hold us back, and we're willing and ready to step into our leadership position. And now we have the fire and the passion behind us to go pursue our dreams with a clear vision about what we want going forward, not just for ourselves, but for everybody, and helping everybody come to the table, like I said earlier, equally. An astrologer that I absolutely freaking adore is Chani Nicholas, and she made mention, I saw what she posted today and I thought it was really beautiful. She kind of asked the question, and I put her in the weekly reading too, so if you want to read this, please feel free to go to my website, sarahmartucci.com. You can get your full card reading and full card meaning. But she says on there, when eclipses happen, what do you feel like is eclipsing your life? What do you feel is kind of overshadowing you, or overshadowing you being able to heal and to take care of something here? Where do you feel like you're being eclipsed out? So it's important that we look to see right now, where is this pain coming from? What's going on? We finally have this amazing open space with the Mercury retrograde, to kind of go into the past and kind of dig up the roots of where this is all coming from. And then with those Virgo themes, kind of heal that pain there. With the Leo new moon solar eclipse, plant new seeds to do better the next time. Or to really just to go above and beyond, so that we can continue to move forward, releasing the old bullshit that we keep holding on to, thinking either that we need it, or whatever the heck our reason is. So just know, guys, today, we're probably not going to see the full effect of this until early September. But just kind of pay attention to what happens the next couple days. How does this week go? What things and themes are showing up for you? Just always remember, if you can do this and always be heart-centered. Leo rules the heart. Be heart-centered here, or allow your heart to guide you. Friends, you won't go wrong, okay? All right, so let's look at the cards, see what the cards got to say this week. All right, so if you want to pick card number 1, this is going to be card number 1. And remember, with these cards, pick any and all that you're drawn to. You can pick 1, you can pick 2, you can pick all 3 cards. It does not matter. Pick what you're drawn to. All right, so this will be card number 2. And if you'd like card number 3. All right, give you guys a second to kind of decide what you'd like there. So I get all of this together. My fuzzy hair today. Messy hair, don't care. There's nothing I can do about it. Did you guys notice too, like the temperature drop? How freaky was that? It felt like it was chilly whenever the sun went away for a hot minute. Like that, it felt weird. Now it's hot again, but that was just, yeah. The animals did not like it either. I don't know if you guys noticed that. There was some freaky stuff going on. So if the animals are freaking out, I'm freaking out. I'm just saying. But overall, I thought it was really cool. Okay, so if you pick card number 1, you got a major arcana card. Talk about major transformation, major evolution, major movement forward this week. And you got oppression. Here's your beautiful card. Don't be scared. We'll talk about it. I know it looks scary. It actually looks terrifying. Just wait a second. See if it'll focus. There we go. All right, so oppression talks about this feeling of something holding you back. I do believe this card even asks, what is holding you back at this time? Why do you feel as though you can't move forward? What is it that you feel like is keeping you in chains? You need to face the thing and let it go. Oppression kind of talks about too, if you notice here, the lady that's veiled, that's supposed to represent grief and sorrow. So what are you still grieving, or what have you yet to grieve that you've been putting off? There's some kind of key here with the sorrow and the grieving. Either it's deep-seated or something that you need to do and to work through so that you can finally let go of the grief and the sorrow that you're holding on to. I want to say, if this is in terms of a loved one passing away, I actually see a lot of clients that say to me, I'm afraid to let the pain go, I'm afraid to let the sorrow go, I'm afraid to let the anger go, whatever the connection is there with the person that's crossed over, because I'm afraid it's the only connection I have left to them. You guys, if that's your issue this week, I promise you that that is not the only connection that you have, that you can absolutely let that go. And when you do let that go, I find that they come through so much stronger for you. So just know this week, if you're working through grief, I still am. I miss my grandma. She only passed away like 3 weeks ago, so the struggle, it's still there, guys. So I feel you with this. Just know that as you continue to grieve and you continue to work through and you continue to let go of the loss, that the loved one is then able to come through that much clearer and more powerfully for you. So don't feel as though holding on to that's the only thing you have left. I promise you friends, it's not. Also too, it's kind of saying that the sorrow, this grief, if you notice the woman there, you can't even see her face. That is freaky looking. Looks like a horror movie. You can't see straight. You can't see her face. It's completely veiled. She has no idea where she's going. She can't make a decision. Her hands are even up in like a, I don't know what the fuck to do kind of pose. Do you know what I mean? But if you notice in her hand, she's weighing something here. In this hand, it looks, she's got like a coin and she's got a crystal. Usually when those show up in any of the decks, they talk about safety and security. What do we need in this world in order to live? So money, clothes on our back, food in our belly, a roof over our head. And the other hand, it's the world. And then it's got a little feather, to me, representing spirit. And there's something of a bigger humanitarian effort where this is very me and personal. This is on a bigger scale and talking about everybody involved. So we're all, I want to say this card is, so whoever picks it, is kind of even speaking to us collectively right now. We have a huge decision that we got to make. Are we still just going to focus on ourselves and it's all about me and I'm just going to take care of myself? Or how can I really be there and take care of everybody and include everybody with what they need? Some people might say that's impossible. I don't think that it is. I think that if everybody comes to the table as an equal, you'll always find a way through it. But my background is conflict resolution, so I'm going to be a little biased towards thinking that we can all come to the table and we can talk about it. We can talk about anything and make something work. Just the parties have to be ready to be involved, you know? I want to say with this that personally you're feeling as though you're weighing safety and security against your happiness here. So there's this feeling this week as though maybe you want to bust out of the mold and you want to go do something. Maybe you're done with the relationship and you're ready to leave, but you're scared to death and you're staying where you are because you feel as though safety and security wise you won't be able to pay for yourself, or you can't afford to live on your own. I want you to think outside of the box this week and remember that your happiness, your spiritual self, is deeply important to you, and that there needs to be a balance here between the physical and the spiritual. I want to say too that you got to pick your happiness, friends. Staying in a place that's making you unhappy, that is unhealthy, that's not good, that's only focusing on the just pure physical shit does not work. You know what I'm saying? So just this week, pay attention to what you're feeling, pay attention to what's going on for you, see where you're kind of making these decisions, and see where these decisions keep coming up for you and what you keep choosing. Because this may even be an unconscious thing that you're doing. You're thinking, oh no, I'm happy because all my needs are met. But are all your needs being met? Are you truly actually happy? So just ask yourself that this week. Last thing on the card. If you notice in the background, there's a huge full moon. That full moon talks to me about relationships. There was something big here coming to a culmination. So either you've had enough of a situation, something big is coming to an end here. Either you've had enough of your feelings in a situation, or you've had enough of feeling as though you have to weigh your safety and security against your happiness. Why should you even be making that decision in the first place? You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, the full moon's also kind of, you can't really see it clearly in that card. So before you make a final decision this week, I'd like you to wait for Mercury retrograde to be over. That'll be the beginning of September. So again, like I said, with the eclipse and everything happening, wait to kind of see how everything plays out until the beginning of September and make your decisions then, once Mercury retrograde's over. Right now is about you kind of like sitting back, taking in all the information, and then doing with it what you really truly want to do in your life. But with this one, make sure that you're doing what's best for you. Don't allow yourself to be trapped in a space of abuse or trapped in a space of lack, or this could even be your own mental thought processes only focused on lack, you know? So do what you can this week to get out of that and see where you can move forward and take care of your happiness. Find the balance between the physical and the spiritual within you too. Noting that both of them need equal parts to keep them healthy and happy and yourself balanced. Okay. If you picked card number 2, you got the High Priestess, and here's your beautiful card. Guys, another major arcana card. Talk about major change, major evolution, major movement forward. Oh, am I in focus? Hello. There we go. The High Priestess is a badass card. This to me talks about psychic gifts and abilities. Anytime this card comes up, it always kind of makes me think of that. So I want to say to you lately that if you felt as though you've been having more visions, if you felt like you've been having more prophetic dreams, if you keep getting these gut instincts that just won't go away, or you're just hearing this inner voice that hasn't been wrong like every time, it's time that you're paying attention to something here. Something's on the up and up for you, and something's building muscle behind it, psychic ability wise, gifts and abilities wise. So just keep with it. I want to say too, there's also a call for balance in this card as well. If you notice the 2 columns there, kind of talking about balance. There might even be a return back to school for you. This could even talk about a certification. You're going to go back to school. To me, it feels like amping up what you already know. So to me, this feels like a building upon the information that you already have. So either you're getting a bachelor's or certificate, maybe you're just going for a class to bone up on something. Either way, I feel like school's definitely ahead of you. Also too, this card's got so much symbology. I think I could spend all day on the major arcana cards, just one card, and just go through there and like pontificate about every single freaking thing I see. So I want to say in this one too, you'll notice there's like 4 new moons in this freaking thing. So pay attention to the number 2 and pay attention to the number 4 and how it works out for you going forward. This could talk about the month of February and the month of April. Maybe from the solar eclipse, you don't see the results of like the new seeds that you planted right now. Until then, I don't know. Pay attention. See what comes up for you. I want to say too, there's something here about listening to your inner wisdom, and yeah, fresh new beginnings. So just know, as these new opportunities are coming up, as these new things are presenting themselves to you, grab them and use your own discernment to make sure that you're choosing the right choices for you. I wouldn't be surprised maybe if there's 2 or 4 choices for you to choose from this week. Say you've got your own business and you got 4 prospective clients coming to you, but you can only pick 2 people. I'm just throwing out some examples. Use your best judgment this week and listen to your inner wisdom. You are on freaking point. I'd also like you to look into I think that's a tiger. Look into the tiger as an animal totem this week. There should be an extra message there for you. And I want to say, kind of final thing with this card in this deck. If you notice, she's like on this mountainside. She's kind of sitting in the mountains. This to me kind of reminds me of Ganesh, the remover of all obstacles. I don't know why I feel this way about this card, but I just want to say to you, through perseverance, through daily practice, through routine, through really disciplining yourself, and really applying yourself to what you're trying to achieve here, anything is possible. So don't give up. And know that you're going to plow through your obstacles. You're just going to sit right in the middle of that freaking mountain and just say, fuck this shit. I've got it, and I'm going to make it from point A to point B. Okay? So just know this week, keep pursuing your dreams. Keep going forward. Pay attention to the number 2 and the 4 and how they show up for you. Keep the balance this week. Again, there's this feeling with the last card too and this card, between the physical and the spiritual. Find the balance there. It can't be all psychic abilities. It can't be your third eye all the time. That doesn't make sense. Your forehead would be ginormous and you wouldn't be able to like really enjoy the physical things of this world. And the flip side, if it's all about the physical, if there's no way to prove something, then you have no faith, you have no trust. What's there to have faith or trust in? It just happens or it doesn't. All the magic is gone. So find the balance this week between the two and pay attention to that inner wisdom. Know that you're onto something big here, friends. And it's going to be a deep spiritual journey for you. Congratulations. All right. And then if you pick card number 3, you got Awakening, and here's your beautiful card. And again, another major arcana card talking about major change, major evolution, major movement forward. Awakening talks about really, truly being awake. And it's not just, I'm here every day, I have the same routine, I go to work, I have lunch at a certain time, and I come back home. This is about really living, really being present, and really being awake to the moment of real true power, the only place that we have it, right here, right now. Kind of grasping onto that and doing something with it. If you notice in the card, there's 2 new moons talking about, I'd like you to pay attention to the number 2 again, even though this card is talks about the number 20. I'd like you to pay attention to the number 2 and how this plays out for you. 2 new beginnings here. Maybe this could talk about your health and your relationships. This could possibly talk about your business and your health. Whatever that combination is for you, just know that to me it feels as though, like, on these 2 separate fronts, you've got these new beginnings. You've got a lot going on. So if you notice the chick in the card, she's quiet, she's smiling, she's happy, her eyes are closed, she's not dealing with any bullshit in front of her. I would highly suggest at some point this week that you get into meditation, and that you get quiet and that you pay attention to the things, the visions, the ideas, the little things that are just the synchronicities that are coming up, like the little inspirations that are coming to you. Pay attention to them. You're guiding yourself to something bigger here. If you notice the light above her head, this is talking to me about your gifts and abilities. So again, there's another theme that's kind of carried through to this card too, of like opening up to your gifts and abilities, saying like, I know something's there and something's happening, paying attention to it, working on that, and allowing it to kind of be a GPS for you going forward. It's not just about this physical trip. It's not just about my physical body. It's also about my spirit that inhabits it too, So kind of waking up to that and waking up to that reality that I'm more than just this here right now. I'm more than this. And what can I do with that knowledge? How can this help me going forward? This could also too be about like having an awakening to something that just kind of hits you like a ton of bricks. So maybe you get insight into a long-standing issue this week that's been plaguing you for a while, and then all of a sudden just get hit with this inspiration like, oh shit, well, that makes fucking sense. And then it just helps you to let it go. So again, pay attention to where your mind goes this week. If you can, I would suggest writing anything down that comes to you, or recording it in some way, shape, or form, whatever works for you. That way you don't forget what you learned. And that way too, you can always look back on it and see the progress that you've made since that point that you realized whatever you needed to realize came to you. Yeah, guys, I just want to say with this card, good job, keep going. And this feels like, again, another spiritual ascension. So there's something here about your spirit, your energy, your higher self taking you to the next level here. What is it that you want going forward? Get clear. First, you got to do that mentally. And that's what this card is talking about. So be clear there. Everything else will be laid out ahead of you, my friend. You've got this. Good job. All right. So, and if you noticed in the cards that were drawn, in the picture that I posted up, the stone that I chose this week is Cavansite. 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 Whatever. I can't seem to pronounce any of the stones that I love, but you guys get it. Here's the stone. Good. Isn't that color just, oh, look, I match. I didn't even mean to do that. Hot damn. I picked Cavansite this week just because it's such a beautiful stone and a great aid for anybody going through transformations of any kind. This is also an excellent stone to help you if you're grieving a loss of any kind too. This could talk about the death of, somebody that you love, or maybe the death of a dream, or the death of something that you thought was really going to happen, was a sure bet, The stone also helps and aids you with your psychic gifts and abilities. This is a throat chakra stone and also a third eye stone. So what that means is that it allows you to kind of be clear about what it is that you need and to speak that truth with love. So that's going to help you to really get clear this week about what you want going forward. This new doorway is opened. Is this the doorway that you want? Yes or no, and then say what it is that you need from this new space so that it can bring that energy to you, or that you can find your way to it. You know what I'm saying? Also too, I would suggest, if you wanted to work with the stone, to wear a pair of earrings. A necklace would be great. Any place that you can keep it close to your throat, or you can keep it close to your ears, so that it can kind of work with those chakras and kind of help you if you need help in any of those spaces, both with your psychic abilities or just speaking up and speaking your truth with love. If you need help through the grief process, or if you're going through major changes right now and you need help kind of transiting into the new with ease, this is the perfect stone to do that. I don't know about you, but every time I see this color blue, it makes me really happy. I feel peaceful. It reminds me of like clear, beautiful blue water of like the Caribbean or something, the place I'd always like to be. So yeah, just grab a chunk of this week. This guy's really tiny, and normally I say in every video, go for a stone that's the size of a quarter or larger. These guys, I mean, if you do find a flower that big, you're going to be paying a good chunk of money. This little guy was $4 already by itself. So it's a little expensive, but I think that it's worth it. And I use the tinier ones for making jewelry. So you can grab a little tiny piece and stick it into like a little tiny sack, and like stick it in your bra if you're a girl, if you're classy. Or, if you're a guy, have somebody, encase it in metal and stick it on a necklace, or stick it in a stud and wear them as studs. It's whatever works for you. The reason why this guy can be okay smaller is, I don't know if you can see, but you can see kind of it sparkling a little bit as I'm rolling it around. Let's see, there we go. Yeah, I can see a little bit better. You can see it kind of sparkling. It's got a million little teeny tiny spikes coming off of it. So when it's got all those spikes on there, essentially what it's doing is pushing energy outward in multiple different directions. So it gives it the feeling that it's much bigger than it actually is. Kind of nice, right? It's in a druzy form, if you will. So if you've ever seen a druzy stone, it's got a whole bunch of little, spikes and points coming off of it in all different directions, and just amplifies that energy and puts it everywhere in like a big bubble around it. So it just makes it bigger. You get the idea. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you guys are having a really good day today. And remember, guys, this is your week. Make it an amazing one. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you soon. Bye.